So for the longest time now, I've wanted a Tesla. They are running a 0% APR right now on the Model Y, which essentially means no interest. However, I still have plenty of student loans to pay off. Should I do it? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, name's Lindeezy. Welcome back to the channel, and this is the next installment of the Financial Freedom series. The first phase of that is going to be to pay off my student loans. I started off with almost $100,000 worth of student loan debt, and now I only have about $50,000 left. So about half of it is pretty much paid off. In this video, my family and I are going to have to make a financial decision that's definitely going to impact me being able to pay off my student loan. The short and skinny of it is me and my wife have one car that we share right now. I used to have a Jeep, however I sold that off just to make sure I can throw as much as I could at my student loans. However, my wife's car has over 200-something thousand miles on it, and it is probably on its last leg. There's a few different options on the table, and I just want to talk through each of those options and then tell you what more than likely we're going to decide to do. So just to reiterate, my goal is to put $5,000 each month towards my student loan. Last month I came up a bit short. I was only able to put $3,500 down. And although it was disappointing, each payment I put towards my student loans makes the balance drop. Therefore, it's progress, and that's always a good thing as opposed to not paying anything. So ideally, we could obviously afford a Tesla if we have, a disposable income at the end of the month of over $3,000 a month. I'm not saying it's a huge amount of money, but it's more than enough to comfortably afford a Tesla, which would be the insurance, the actual car payment, and maybe maintenance. But should we do it though is the question. So to sum it up, we're going to look at the different options that I have as we're going through this process of mitigating my wife's mechanical car issues. Then I'm going to give you the decision on what we're more than likely going to do. And then I'm going to talk about how that decision impacts this month's payment towards my student loans. Before I get into the three components of this video, do me a favor and like, comment, subscribe. If I provide any value for you while you watch this video, I greatly appreciate it. So option one would be just to simply get the Tesla. Teslas, if you look at them, I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion on them, but they are one of the coolest looking cars in the world to me. Not the Cybertruck, but the Model Y and the Model 3. The interior is very sleek, very minimalistic. You got a nice big screen. So many cool features that other modern cars nowadays really don't have. I wouldn't have to pay for gas. And I think the biggest part of maintenance really would just be changing out the tires, because the Teslas are naturally a bit more heavier than the average car due to the battery. You'd have to change out tires more often, however, but oil changes, transmission fluid changes, all of that goes out the window. Depending on the package you get, it can drive by itself. I mean, imagine being able to kind of just kick back on a long road trip. Looking on the Tesla website is really convenient. You can actually order it right then and there. Out the gate, we would spend roughly about $600 to $700 on a car note for the Tesla Model Y, which is the one we want. That isn't bad. I mean, again, considering that we spend $3,500 plus a month on student loans, we can sacrifice a little bit of that to get a really cool car, right? I'm gonna be honest, that is my favorite option, is just to get the Tesla. But let's talk about the second one. The second option is to essentially pay for the repair on our car right now. It's overheating and we need a new water pump. The part's gonna cost about $225, and the labor on top of that might be $200 to $300 as well. It's an older car, and you're kind of always wondering, is it worth it to pay for that repair or just to get a new car? Because eventually, within the next year or so, we're 100% gonna have to get a new car. Like I said earlier, it's about 225,000 miles on this Kia Prius, and it's about to give out at some point. This might just be the first big hit in what we'll have to pay to keep this car moving. The last option is to just buy a cash car. The benefit of having a cash car is we won't have a car note. With the amount that we want to spend on a cash car, it wouldn't be something so terrible. I'm guessing maybe around 6,000 to 7,000, maybe 8. Highest probably 10,000. That would be a decent amount of money to put down for a cash car, and again, no car note. You just have to pay the $10,000 or whatever we decide to spend up front. We have 3 different options. Let me know which one you would pick. Comment below. As of now, the option that me and my wife are going to more than likely do is just to have the car be repaired, and hopefully that solves the issue. And what we'll do down the line is to inevitably get ready for the fact that we're gonna have to buy a cash car. I want a Tesla so bad, especially considering the deal they have right now on the 0% APR. I mean, you can't beat that. You're essentially just paying for the car. Most car places, they'll tack interest on top of that because there's a fee associated with basically getting the car up front. But with this whole Tesla deal, you wouldn't have to worry about that. The big kicker is that's a car note every month otherwise that I wouldn't have to pay if I had a cash car or I just made that quick repair. I know it would be so cool to ride around in a Tesla, get out of the hoopty that we have now, and get back into luxury and that lifestyle that I like so much. But I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I am gonna get a Tesla, but just after I pay off student loans. One thing I really wanted to highlight in this decision that I'm making is instant gratification. Instant gratification is essentially you wanting to feel real good about something right up front, as opposed to waiting for the right or perfect opportunity to actually receive that award. For instance, with this example, I want a Tesla right now. Getting a Tesla right now would be instantly gratifying, but it would hold me back from being able to pay off my student loans as quick as possible. I think just the way that we as Americans have been conditioned to take out loans and to use credit cards, we live in a world that praises instant gratification. From a financial standpoint, it's nothing but a trap. Delaying gratification could be one of the best things that you'll do while trying to achieve any goal. So I'm gonna pick the boring option and repair our older car, and just eventually think about saving more and more and more to basically buy a cash car where I won't have a car note. And speaking of car notes, let me go off real quick about those. Car notes are the #1 wealth killer for most Americans, in my opinion. Cars are depreciating assets. They go down in value. I know it sounds really cool to get into a nice new car and make a payment on it, but man, it is killing so much of your financial future by doing that. For the average American trying to save money for retirement, trying to get out of debt, car notes are really the worst thing you can do. And look, this is just my opinion. You live your life and do whatever you want to do, but I have far too many friends and people I know that are paying really high car notes, and it's taken away from their ability to grow wealth. And to me, the #1 excuse is, oh, I have this clunker right now, I'm gonna just get a new car so I don't have to worry about repairs. The repair for our Prius is gonna be about $600, and that is gonna be one payment that we'll have to make probably sometime in the month of December. If I were to get the Tesla, our car note bare minimum will be $600 a month, right? So compare having to pay $600 just one time. Imagine having to pay $600 each month for the lifetime of that loan. Is there ever gonna be a situation with the used car that you have now that you have to pay $600 a month for repairs? And hey, if that is the case, then maybe you wanna look into a cash car. But I guarantee you, your best option isn't going to be to go out and to buy a new car where you're having to pay a whole bunch of money each month for a car note, and then on top of that, the car depreciates. So if you do wanna sell it, you're gonna be underwater by at least $5,000 to $10,000, depending on the type of car that you have. All right, I'm hopping off my soapbox, I promise, but I just really want to encourage people to not get a car note unless they absolutely have to, and the absolutely have to is like a really small percent. Because to me, even though Tesla is running this deal right now where it's 0% APR, I don't want to have to pay $600 a month when I could use that essentially to pay more towards my student loan and get out of debt a lot quicker. All right, and lastly, how does this affect the payment for this month? So unfortunately, I did not reach the $5,000 mark again. I have around about $3,600 I'm gonna put towards student loans. However, what I'm gonna do in anticipation for us maybe having to buy a car here pretty soon is I'm gonna use $600 out of that student loan payment, basically to pay for the repair of the car, and I'm gonna save the other $3,000 in my high yield savings account to be able to add to what I have now in savings to basically pay for a cash car. And then what I'll do is I'll pick back up at the end of December and we'll start fresh for the year, just again trying to hit that $5,000 mark. One thing I learned from this month is that life happens and you won't be able to always put money towards where you want to put it, even if it's for a good cause like student loans. Basically, we anticipate something big coming up. We're gonna plan for that, and I'm just not gonna pay student loans for this month, unfortunately. We're doing this for the vehicle that my wife uses to go to work. We're not using it for like a trip to go anywhere on vacation. It's honestly something that is very intricate to our success as a family, financially speaking. So make sure if you do miss a payment, it's not for anything ridiculous. Now you get it. Pick one financial goal that you have for your family within the next 5 years or so, and think about ways that you can delay gratification in order to make that goal come a bit faster. For my family, what we're gonna do essentially is just buy the cash car or pay for that repair instead of going out and buy a Tesla that we really do want right now. I know delayed gratification isn't really a part of our American culture. It's very like, buy now, get it to me now. The faster you get it, the better. But going against that trend will have so many benefits for you and your financial future. That's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Do me a favor and like, comment, subscribe again if you got any value out of this video. I'll see you next week with a new video. And then again, next month, we'll have another episode on financial freedom, and I'll let you know how everything worked out. Did we have to buy a cash car sooner than we had anticipated? Did the repair work out just fine? Tune in to see what happens. And if you haven't seen the first episode of this financial series, I'll go ahead and put it on the screen right now so that way you can go ahead and check it out and get caught up on how this whole story started. Y'all have a blessed day. I truly appreciate it, and I will see y'all later. Peace.